Hey guys, it's so good to see you. It's only been a week for you since you saw our last video, but for us it's been about 2 months plus since we recorded it. There's quite a bit of catching up we got to do, and we'd love to share everything that's been going on in our lives in the last 2 months. But today we got something more important to go to, and we got quite a bit of a journey to get there. So we figured we'd take you along the journey with us and share our experiences here, and also stick around because we have some important news that we're going to share with you at the end of the video.
We can't really give you guys updates on the bus because you're not even really supposed to talk on the bus. They have signs everywhere that say don't be on your phone, don't have music playing, and all of that. We are done with the bus and we're headed to the train station, but wanted to give you a first little updates about our first apartment that was in Kyoto.
Kyoto.
It rained like the entire time we were there. We kind of just hung out in our apartment, tried to make Japanese food from the grocery store. I had a major craving for pizza one night, like really wanted pizza, and there was a pizza place right near our apartment. But we learned that pizza is insanely expensive here in Japan. Astronomical, like $35 for a cheese pizza. So I didn't get pizza, but eventually we did get some pizza at some point, but we'll tell you about that in a little bit.
All right, so after being stuck in that little teeny studio apartment for 2 weeks during that cherry blossom week, we decided we needed to upgrade to a slightly bigger place if we're gonna wait out this pandemic a little bit longer. So we moved to our first traditional Japanese style home.
Lots to pack. Let's do this. This home was so cute. The bed is on the floor on the mats. It's like traditional, it's beautiful. And look at this wall.
Oh, I love it.
I saw it in pictures, but it's even better in person. And Yev and I kind of tried our hand at something new. We tried our hand at some couples acro yoga.
That was so fun.
We weren't really good at it, but it was a good workout. It was hysterical. And in the midst of so much disappointment, it was really good to laugh. Where'd you go? I love these seats. So that apartment had the coolest park right down the street. It was on the side of an aquarium, and so if you got there at the right time, you could see the dolphins jump. But in the month that we were there, for the most part, everybody was self-isolating, so we really didn't get to see a lot of people or really enjoy the culture. But at the park, people were playing games, having picnics, and honestly, it was probably the best part of living in that apartment. So that apartment was amazing, and we kept elongating how long we'd stay there because no countries were open and we wanted to stay longer, and we were getting honestly really bored doing nothing and wanted to go on an adventure. So this guy came up with a ridiculous plan. I'll let him tell you.
Many of you guys know me. I love Costco. I'm a huge Costco ambassador and fan.
Ambassador.
But I'm not sponsored, so. What better way than to rent some bikes and go to the nearest Costco in Japan.
Nearest.
We're almost here. Whew. It's been a long ride. All right. We did it. We had to get a temporary pass, which was a little challenging, but it worked out. And now we're in Costco. And we got some pizza because you can't go to Costco and not have the food court food. That was one of the biggest driving forces of going.
With COVID, the food court was closed, and so we ended up eating a pizza on the side of a road on our bikes. Well, we biked 18 kilometers. I learned it's 18 kilometers to get. Oh, look at that cheesy goodness. Thank you, Costco. It's delicious. Cheers.
Cheers. Such a great experience. Driving back with like some groceries on our bikes in a basket. It's so fun.
We were like biking through fields on dirt roads with bumps, but we did it. 12 miles biking to get a pizza. Would you guys do that? Let us know. Let us know in the comments. I don't know if I'd do it again, but I'm glad we did it. As I said, we had to keep elongating our stay because no countries were open, and so at that point we were going to be staying until May 9th. So we were going to be in Kyoto for Yevin's birthday.
Masks on. All right, so by this time in our journey, we thought we'd be somewhere in Southeast Asia where we'd be celebrating my birthday. But unfortunately, we were still stuck in Japan. So we wanted to make the day a little more unique than all the other monotonous quarantine days. We decided to take a short 10-minute ride on the train to the next city over, Otsu, on the largest lake in Japan, Lake Biwa.
It was honestly a beautiful sunny day, and so we hung out at the lake, we had our feet in the cold water, we got some cheap sushi, and then the plan was to like walk around the town and experience like a new place. We'd been in Kyoto for a long time, but not to be negative, but sadly we started to get pretty disheartened. Otsu almost looked like post-apocalyptic, like abandoned. There was no one on the streets. The trains that went by were completely empty. Everything was closed. It was kind of eerie. So we ended up having like lots of hard conversations that day of like, do we even want to travel full time right now if the world's going to be like this? You know, nature is really fun and cool to have all to yourself. To climb mountains by yourself, all these things is cool. But going to cities and towns and stuff without people, like people are what bring culture, and you don't want to travel to places without the culture. It's still a good day. It was still a fun birthday. We had a birthday miracle, guys.
Yeah.
We found a birthday dessert. Not only did he love it,
It was so good.
It wasn't expensive, and the place was open, and it was delicious. We came back to the brewery that we came to last night. They were closed last night. We just missed them by 15 minutes, and they're closed right now. But he gave Yev a free beer for his birthday, and me too, which was super sweet. But this is Kyoto Brewing Company. It's delicious. After Yev's birthday, we had to find a new place to live because our Airbnb was no longer available. But our Airbnb host was so nice and kind, and he was really hurting with the pandemic and everything. So we actually moved to another one of his properties, and we booked it all the way till June 5th because countries were saying that they were going to open on May 15th, and we just wanted to see if we could stay until we could go to a new country. We found our little house. Kind of cute. It's fun when you stay in different countries to have it be like their traditional homes. So this is like very traditional Japanese style. All the sliding doors. We even have a traditional table with the floor mats, which is horrible for my back, but super fun. Stop drying.
Yep, so there is drying.
There's a dryer. You can dry your derriere. All right, up a steep set upstairs. Little bedroom up here, little bedroom situation. Beds on the floor. Oh, I think we're gonna have to push our beds together. I like to sleep next to Evan. And then we have a room for all of our acrobatic activities.
Oh, this is actually pretty comfortable. Alright, so this new home was a little further from downtown Kyoto. It was probably a little over an hour walk from there. It was right by that big river that runs through the center of Kyoto. And we were fortunate enough to just be able to just like go for a walk, go for a run. We even biked along the river many times. There was also other perks of that place. One of them being that it came with this super cool hot tub, right?
Hot tub.
It was a soaking tub. But the coolest thing was that you could start filling the tub from the kitchen. I mean, literally, with a push of a button, it would just start filling up to the temperature that you set, to the level that you set, and when it was done, it would like do a little jingle. It would like sing to you saying like your bath is ready. Well, we took advantage of that almost every night. Also, little did we know when we moved in there that the windows from this place would be facing this driving course. And we spent countless hours every day as we were editing videos, editing photos, making a website, just overlooking this driving course and watching people drive. It was hilarious. The last cool thing about this place was, although it was far from downtown, it was really, really close to another famous place in Kyoto.
You guys probably remember, but we went to Fushimi Inari. It's the big orange gates. Probably about like 2 months before this, but this time there was nobody there. Like a security officer and people doing some landscaping, but there was no one else there. We got to hike the entire thing, see all the gates, go in the back. It was like a rainforest. It was beautiful. There are so many gates.
We thought that as we were going to be going further into the hike, that the gates would be more spread apart.
Yeah, that's what we've read online, but I think they get really big and spread apart for a little section. And there's a lot of stairs, like it's like up and down, up and down. But I will say, it is very hard to climb stairs with a mask on. So we're keeping it clean, not touching anything, but can't rebreathe all of that breath when there's no one around. It's very hard to be happy about going down when you know you're gonna go back up. If I stop talking, it's silent. It kind of has that like cool, wet rainforest vibe, which Yev and I totally missed out on the last time we were here. It's probably because there's all those people, but it's really cool. This is stunning. Like this, what I'm looking at right now, worth it. Come early, hike all the way. Turn around, Yev. This is so pretty.
Oh, it is pretty.
Look at this. That's so pretty. I feel like we're in the Japanese Amazon. Like there's birds and you can hear frogs. And yes, there's still signs and there's bugs. And there are still signs for monkeys, so. And there's signs for wild boar. Not hoping for this to become an Indiana Jones expedition, but.
What was the coolest thing about that hike?
We didn't walk the whole thing the first time we were there. We only like stayed at the main area. But this time we walked the whole thing and we could hear all of these frogs. And so we found this little area that there were hundreds of frogs.
We're looking for frogs.
I am a person that gets really easily startled. So don't make fun of me. Or make fun of me, that's fine too.
Just do it in the comments.
Yeah.
Nicely.
Where are they? It's like they're all around. It's so funny. Be respectful. Don't do it again.
I feel like they're gonna jump on you.
I screw you.
This is a sacred place. I shouldn't have done that.
The thing is that they're all around and I can't see them. They're everywhere.
They literally are. Hey, babe.
What?
If there's this many in front of us, how many do you think there's behind us?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
What's behind you?
No.
Behind you. I don't see any.
Oh my god. There was like this loud waterfall and it was just a little sensory overload. Way too many frogs. Really cool.
Really cool.
There's absolutely no one here. It's crazy. Crazy. We got Fujimi and Ari all to ourselves. Like really all to ourselves. It's like 1 PM. Perks of being stuck in Japan. But we need to get to where we're going because we're running really late.
Yes.
And it's really important. So let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so we finally made it to that really important building. I really hope this goes okay.
We're back. We did all we could, and they told us to come back in about an hour. So let's go back to the story. What else happened in the last 2 months?
Guys, we found out that Yev's sister and her husband are gonna have a baby boy. We had a virtual gender reveal party over Zoom, which really kind of stinks for them, but was so awesome for us because we got to be there even though we're on the other side of the world. You guys are going to be amazing parents. Oh my gosh, we're so excited. So that's like the most big news, exciting thing is we're going to have a little nephew, but we should go for a little bit of walk. We have like an hour.
We are fully aware that this vlog might seem like we had this amazing, wonderful, adventurous time here in Japan, but keep in mind that this has been over the course of the last 2 months. So it might seem a little exciting, but most days we just spent sitting around computers and video editing, photo editing, you know, doing things, learning. We decided on our last week staying in this place that we should take advantage of staying in this beautiful part of Kyoto and Japan and just make the most of it. Do some fun adventures maybe on a couple days and we did two really cool things.
One day we decided to take our bikes all the way back up to the old downtown area of Kyoto, which these streets are just so beautiful to ride your bike down. It's honestly, I think it's like the best thing to do in Kyoto. And we had a picnic by the river, you know, the things we like to do. But we got to see geisha again. Not as many people were out. It was kind of like just a really precious time to be able to be in the old city.
The other thing we had to do before leaving Kyoto was to do this super cool hike. There is a mountain that splits Kyoto and Otsu essentially. It's called Mount Hiei. So we figured we'd have to do this before leaving Japan.
There were some beautiful views on this hike, full of these like forests with these cool bamboo trees at times, and then it just like opened up and you could see the city and the hills, and it was stunning. And on our way up, we saw our first monkey in the wild.
Yeah.
This huge big monkey, like long brown hair, jumping from the tree. There's a monkey in that tree. He's huge. It went away. So it was not as scary as the snake that we saw on the path later on. But we get to see our first monkey, which was so exciting.
On a clear day, you could see Otsu, you could see Kyoto, you could even see Osaka out in the distance. But also, there's a really, really cool temple.
This mountain is famous because of the temple that's on it. And if you're visiting and you don't want to go for a hike, there are cable cars. So like you could do this quicker instead of this crazy long hike. The temple is like actually adds a few kilometers to the hike.
You got to descend down 2 kilometers and then you got to go back up 2 kilometers.
But I think it totally was worth it.
It was worth it.
The walk down to the temple was stunning.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. And then the actual temple complex itself was like really old. It is the home of the marathon monks, which I had never heard of these people. But now they have so much respect. I think they're the most intense physical feat human group that I have ever heard of. In the last 400 plus years, only 46 men have completed this challenge, which I think is insane. First 3 years, the monks have to run 30 kilometers, which is 18 miles, for 100 days, every day straight. Then in the 4th year, they do that twice. In the 5th year, they do it again for 200 straight days. And then they do a 9 consecutive days without food, water, or sleeping. Like someone is there with them the entire time to make sure that they don't fall asleep and they don't eat or drink anything. It gets better, or worse. I think it's worse. In year 6, they have to run 60 kilometers. That is 37 miles for 100 days straight. And then year 7, they have to run 84 kilometers per day for 100 consecutive days.
52 miles, 100 days. That's 2 marathons in one day.
In a day.
For 100 days straight.
And then they finish it, you know, with a little cool down while running 30 kilometers a day for 100 days, you know, which at that point, it's a walk in the park. And they can sit one time during the run, and then they're not just running like in Nike Air Seekers, they have to run in straw sandals. And they have to carry different like scrolls and books and things as they run. And we were reading about one monk, and he said that it takes them about 20 hours to do it. Like they're doing it all, and then they only sleep for a few hours and get back up and do it again. Which I just think it's mind-blowing.
It's insane.
We didn't see any monks while we were on our trail.
No.
We saw a deer, a snake, and a monkey.
Yep.
Lots of lizards, but no monks. But when we did visit the temple, we did hear one of them doing their evening chants, which was just like really cool. So if you're here in Kyoto and you want to see something that's amazing, go see the temple. It's actually starting to rain a little bit. We ended Kyoto on a victorious note, and we'll tell you about what happened after that, but we need to go find a place to cover the camera.
Actually, we just looked at the time, and it's time for us to go back to that super important place. So we'll have to pick up the story after we come out again. It looks like it stopped raining, so I think we should get back to the story. All right, that hike we were talking about is 14 miles long, so it's quite a bit. And as we said, you could take the railway, but it's worth it. Do the hike. You see monkeys and all sorts of animals and beautiful views. So we think it was a success.
Yes.
Just like this super secret mission thing that we've been doing. Would you say it's a success?
We did it.
We did it. We're hungry. We haven't eaten anything all day, so we're gonna go find maybe a bakery and grab a quick bite.
Yes. We found the bakery. It took us a lot of walking, but we finally found one that's open and has so many things to choose from. Honestly, that's the hardest thing because you want like 10 of these, but then you have to choose one.
We just snitched a little bit. Really, really good. Such a good bakery. But we just got to a sake museum where we can do a sake tasting. They close at 4:30. It's almost 4, so hopefully we can go inside, get it before they close, and tell you the rest of the story. So let's go.
Getting to try sake, guys. Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Guys, this is a $100 bottle of sake.
Thank you.
It's really good. I don't want to finish it. Definitely didn't have time to talk to you guys in there because we had to rush. We had to enjoy the whole place in a half hour.
So about 3 weeks ago, all the information we've been seeing on the interweb was basically saying that European Union, countries like Greece, Iceland were going to begin opening borders and going to allow tourists back in the countries. So we were super hopeful. I mean, this was kind of like the day that we've been waiting for. But unfortunately, the Airbnb we were staying in, we were not able to keep extending it. Fortunately, our friends that we met in Osaka, when we moved to Japan, they graciously invited us into their home. They live in like a small town just outside of Osaka, about an hour away by train and bus. And it's super cute. I mean, it's like just like regular normal life suburbia of Japan.
Suburbia.
There's gardens, there is like rice fields, there are just like small traditional homes, like super cool, super quaint, and it's been really cool to experience it here. Guys, I haven't cut my hair in over 3 months. My hair was getting ridiculous. I didn't want to pay for a haircut because haircuts here in Japan are super expensive, and I just wasn't willing to do it. But we live 20 minutes away from this like mall, and in this one, we found these $20 buzzers that I was willing to spend money on, and Amy gave me a haircut.
It looks so much better, guys. You have no idea. I have cut Yev's hair probably like 3 or 4 times, but every time I've cut his hair, it has taken me like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, which I know is so bad. But this time, it only took me an hour. And it came out good.
Came out good.
And it was just like way overdue and perfect timing. But now we have buzzers, so we will not have it go
crazy anymore.
But the first weekend we were there with them, there was a march in Osaka. Being that we were so close, we were able to go and drive there on Sunday. It was a march like in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement that is happening in America. We really, in so many ways, want to be home and be able to love our Black brothers and sisters in our community and in the community at large. We do not know everything, but we want to do better, love better, and see America be better, because it really can be. And this is an awesome moment in history for real change to happen.
What's his name? George Floyd. What's his name? George Floyd. What's his name? George Floyd. Thanks so much.
My birthday is June 13th, and as we've said, we were expecting to be able to leave Japan come like June 15th, so 16th, 17th, sometime after that. But now I was gonna spend my birthday in Japan, and we wanted to like make the most of it, have fun. So we started the morning at a bakery overlooking the rice terraces, like a breakfast picnic. They gave me free coffee. It was perfect, so me. Every year on my birthday, it pours and rains. But in the morning, at least it wasn't raining. And then in the afternoon, we went on an adventure to a waterfall in, how do you say it?
Mino.
And it rained basically the whole time we were hiking there. But it is like a paved path all the way up along like these gorgeous traditional Japanese like homes and restaurants and lanterns lining the way. And then you go through like a forest, and it feels like a rainforest because of the rain. It was stunning.
And it takes you to this beautiful waterfall.
The journey's worth it. Yev took like one of the best pictures he's ever taken of me.
Well, at least, I mean, I feel like it's one of my favorite pictures I've taken of you. And it was super cool. It was super cool fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And we ended the night with mochi, which is like so Japanese. And then our friends that are hosting us, Dan played Happy Birthday on, what is it?
Accordion.
Accordion. It was so epic. It was amazing. As you can see, this video is coming out after June 15th. Greece basically agreed with the EU and didn't allow foreign tourists from outside the EU on June 15th. And so we have been still stuck in Japan.
They've extended it to July 1st.
We almost went home tomorrow. Oh my gosh, we almost went home tomorrow, guys. That would have just been so crazy. But last minute, we were looking into going home, and then Yevon just happened to say, like, babe, if there was one country that you could go to, where would you want to go? And I told him, and he looked, and guys, there was a flight before July 1st. So we may or may not have tickets, literally may or may not have tickets. We'll explain that story a little bit later, but we might be leaving Japan.
We are very hopeful.
Oh my gosh, we're just so excited. I don't know if I...
It's hard to be like super excited and hopeful because like everything's been like changing so much, but we are super excited and we just can't wait.
The big thing that happened today is that we didn't get in trouble. We didn't get arrested. We didn't get fined majorly because we overstayed our visa here in Japan. We thought it was an automatic 90-day extension. It was not automatic. You had to still go to the immigration office. So that's where we went today, the immigration office. They fixed our passports. We are legally here in Japan right now, and we can legally leave, hopefully really soon. And so maybe next time you see us.
We'll be in a new country.
Or you're getting ready to go to one, maybe. Oh,
Subscribe.
fingers crossed, because we're leaving Japan.